When we think of luxury, few things rival the allure of caviar, those glistening black pearls once reserved for czars and kings. Harvested from ancient sturgeon, caviar became synonymous with the grandeur of Imperial Russia, a delicacy at lavish banquets. But the story of caviar takes an unexpected turn, far from the palaces of St. Petersburg. Its survival owes much to the bustling rivers of 19th century America. This is a tale of irony, a royal food turned into a free bar snack, and an American industry built on clever deception. The sturgeon, a relic from the age of dinosaurs, became the link between Russian fishermen and German immigrants in America. To understand caviar's journey from imperial feast to global sustainability, we must look back to where its legend began. In Russia, caviar was more than food. It was a symbol of power, wealth, and national identity. But this treasure was not limitless, and its fate would soon be shaped by forces across the Atlantic. The story of caviar is about to take a most unexpected turn. The fascination with sturgeon roe predates the Russian czars by centuries. The Persians first prized these eggs, calling them caviar, cake of power, believing they bestowed strength. The Greeks and Romans soon followed, importing caviar as a rare luxury for their elite banquets. Sturgeon was celebrated, its eggs a delicacy for emperors and aristocrats. In Russia, caviar became a staple for the nobility and the Orthodox Church, especially during fasting. By Ivan the Terrible's reign, the sturgeon fisheries of Astrakhan were vital to the Russian economy. The finest caviars, beluga, osetra, sevruga, were reserved for the imperial court. Caviar was now the soul of Russian identity, a taste of empire, but its journey was far from over. In America, caviar's story began not with royalty, but with abundance. 19th century rivers teemed with sturgeon, so plentiful they were considered pests. Their eggs, worthless in the US, were so abundant they ended up as free snacks in saloons. Bar owners discovered salty caviar made patrons thirsty, boosting beer sales. Factory workers and laborers enjoyed what was in Europe a luxury. Here, it was just another bar snack. Children ate sturgeon eggs on toast. Fishermen used them as pig feed or fertilizer. The irony was staggering. What Russians paid fortunes for, Americans gave away. For a brief moment, caviar was the food of the common man. There was no mystique, no luxury, just salty abundance. But this would soon change. The American perception of caviar was about to be transformed. And it started with a clever immigrant. Enter Henry Schacht, a German immigrant who saw opportunity where others saw nuisance. In 1873, Schacht began buying cheap sturgeon roe from New Jersey fishermen, processing it for export. He knew European elites craved Russian caviar, so he shipped American eggs to Europe, where they were repackaged as Russian. The same caviar given away in American bars was sold at a premium in Europe. Schacht's business boomed, and soon America became the world's top caviar exporter, outpacing Russia. At its peak, over 1 million pounds of American caviar were shipped to Europe each year. The world's most sought-after Russian caviar was in fact American. A clever marketing ploy had turned a bar snack into a global luxury. But this golden age would not last. The rush for black gold had consequences. The caviar boom sparked a frenzy. Sturgeon were hunted relentlessly for their eggs. With no regulations, fishermen decimated sturgeon populations faster than they could reproduce. Within decades, rivers once teeming with sturgeon fell silent. By the early 1900s, the American sturgeon population had collapsed, and the industry vanished. Meanwhile, Russia faced its own crisis. Overfishing, poaching, and pollution threatened the Caspian sturgeon. By mid-century, sturgeon were on the brink of extinction worldwide. The black gold rush was over. Caviar became rare and expensive once more. The world had nearly fished its greatest delicacy out of existence. It was a sobering lesson in the fragility of abundance. The future of caviar now depended on a radical new approach. The era of wild sturgeon was ending. A new chapter was about to begin. The collapse of wild sturgeon was a wake-up call. If caviar was to survive, it needed a new path. Enter aquaculture, the farming of sturgeon in controlled environments. Scientists and farmers learned to raise sturgeon from eggs, mimicking their natural habitat. It's a slow, patient process. Years pass before a single harvest, but this method protects wild populations and ensures a steady, ethical supply. America, once the land of squandered abundance, became a leader in sustainable caviar. Modern farms now produce high-quality caviar without harming wild fish. Many even help restore sturgeon to their native rivers. Today, most legal caviar comes from these responsible farms. The future of caviar is now in the hands of science and stewardship. Caviar's journey is a circle of history, luxury, abundance, near extinction, and redemption. Once a symbol of Russian imperial power, it became a free snack in American bars. A German immigrant's vision turned American caviar into a global luxury. But greed nearly destroyed the sturgeon, and caviar almost vanished forever. Today, America leads in sustainable caviar, ensuring this ancient delicacy endures. Caviar is no longer just a Russian story, it's a global one. The black pearls now symbolize not just luxury, but our ability to learn and adapt. From royal tables to saloon counters and now to sustainable farms, caviar's story is one of transformation. The taste of luxury survives, thanks to those who value both the delicacy and the remarkable fish behind it.